talk about leadership. If you have the gift of leadership, it usually accompanies a position of leadership. Makes sense, right? You got the gift of teaching, you're probably going to be a teacher somewhere in an organization. So this leadership gift, I said, is often a very lonely gift. But let's unpack it. And those of us with the gift of leadership, let's be encouraged as we catch up with God's teaching on this important gift. The definition is the Spirit-given ability to provide God's people with vision, that is foresight, and oversight, so that they may accomplish God's purposes. So the word literally means to stand before, or to direct, or to rule, to guide. This word carries the idea of watching over, caring, giving aid, giving direction. The gift will manifest in different places within the church, large and small, with women and with men. And the contribution is simple, right? It builds up the body by providing a vision or direction, right, for God's people to follow. The gift also gives care and protection as it gives oversight to the church or parts of the church as you find yourself leading, maybe not as the lead person, but as a leader of a group or a ministry. So what can we say about people that have this leadership gift? They pray for a vision of God, which keeps them moving in the right direction. So not just a vision for their organization, but a clear vision of God. We want to see God in all of his splendor, to catch up with his heart before we even think about where do we go here. We just want to be acquainted with our great God. We serve and care for the people that we lead. We care about them. Third, we follow Christ's leadership as we lead. And so we're under leaders, if you will. So we're his deputies. He's positioned us as leaders, but we're still followers. We're following Jesus. People with this gift are focused on the future far more than the past. Future-oriented. That's what leaders are, always thinking about the future. There's more. They know where they're going, and they know why they're going in this direction. And so they're positioned well to motivate others to follow, to delegate tasks when they do. And so they thrive being in a group setting and galvanizing that group together, and they're able to make decisions in light of the goals. So there's some important cautions. The first is this: don't demand or grow impatient when followers don't want to follow your lead. And you know what? The Bible is full of examples of examples where it was just hard to follow the leader, including Jesus, the perfect leader. So don't be surprised if they have difficulty following you. It may be just as much you're doing as they're doing. Don't grow impatient. Second, don't get lazy. The shadow to this gift in Romans chapter 12 is be diligent. In other words, don't be lazy. Don't rely on your great upfront gifts and you've led this kind of thing and that kind of thing and you can pop up with no preparation and off you go and you get lazy and you stop growing as a leader. Don't do that. Third, keep loving those you lead. The most important thing I can tell you about leadership is love your people. And the second thing I can tell you after that is love your people. And the third thing I can tell you after that is love your people. You love your people. And you know what? Sometimes the people God's called you to lead aren't lovable. They're not always lovable. And you know what? We're not always lovable as leaders. But love and ask God to give you a heart of love for the people he's called you to lead, exercising gentleness and patience. Here's a really important one. Don't get too far ahead. You may be mistaken for the enemy. Like you got all this vision. You're way out. You're like miles out ahead. And they can't even see you anymore. And what they look out and see is that's got to be the enemy. And they're going to start shooting you. So be careful about that. Continue to submit yourself to God and to stay accountable to people. Always stay accountable. That is a very precarious thing to not be in a relationship of accountability. Don't forget the towel. Jesus is all about the towel. Christ's leadership was demonstrated through his servanthood, and that needs to be just at the heart of our leadership, that we are servant leaders. And so we're not going to push, as Eisenhower said when he put the string on his desk, and he said to the people around him, what's easier, to pull the string or to push it? We pull. We pull people, and we go to the places we're asking people to go. And one of the great things that we need to be about is we need to finish well. And that's a goal in my life, gang, is that I'd finish well. That the most important day of your ministry is not the first day. It's the last day. How do you finish? The most important day on this earth is the last day. How do we finish? Eyes on the prize. Hanging on with all that we have to Jesus Christ, our only hope in this life and the next. Finish well for the glory of God by the grace of God. So it reminds us of our responsibilities, right? We all have areas in our life where we're exercising leadership. That might be as an older brother or a sister. That might be within a family. That might be within a small team at work. That might be within some organization or club. And you go, I don't think of myself as a leader, but you have a leadership responsibility. And that just reminds us, this is the kind of leadership we're to bring in these ways, reflecting Christ's leadership in the places God has given us opportunities to lead. All right. This leads us to a wonderful gift that I would say reminds me of my friend Afton, who wrote a book called Storm Sisters. The kind of friend, the kind of woman who's there in the storm. I guarantee you, if you got a storm sister, if you got a storm brother, if you want to be that brother, you want to be that sister, you will have this next gift. Check it out, the gift of mercy.